Hello and welcome you all to SSB Short Academy and also to this weekly current affairs session. Dear aspirant, if you would like to join armed forces through NDA series and AFCAT, then this session is very important for you. Why? Because इस सेशन में मैंने वो सारी चीजें कवर की है जो आपके रिटन एग्जामिनेशन से लेकर आपके एसएसबी में भी हेल्प करेगा. जैसे while you are delivering lecturate or you are participating in GD, it will give you points from the things which are happening around the globe. Under this, I have subdivided some topics, important topics like international issues, national affairs, regional state affairs, sports, defense, and miscellaneous, जो कि important dates, person, place और arbitrary को cover करेगा. So, dear friend, this session of 15 to 20 minutes are very important for you. Not only in GD and lecturate, but also while writing stories in TAT. जब आप psychological test में SSB में stories लिखते हो तो उस समय आपको एक theme की जरूरत होती है, एक concept की जरूरत होती है. तो when you are referring these themes and concepts from these current happenings, you will generate a better idea to make your better story. So the first important thing what I'm going to discuss today, which was in news, that is Ukraine and Russia issue. But before we discuss this, India's stance on Ukraine at UNSC, United Nations Security Council, I would like to make you understand what is this issue first of all. See, actually the conflict started in 1991 when there was a disintegration of Russia, and Russia was disintegrated into 12 different independent nations. So that was Ukraine was a part of Russia before that. Before becoming a Soviet republic, Russia and Ukraine shared hundreds of years of culture, familial and linguistic links. With the disintegration of USSR in 1991, Ukraine gained independence. And since then, Ukraine has been trying to shed Russian legacy and improve its relationship with the West. So Ukraine क्या कर रहा है कि जो भी influence है रसिया का under the Ukraine region, so that has to be shaded out. It means that has to be stopped, and they want to continue their good relation with the Western countries, who Ukraine. The shared heritage has been exploited for electoral and military purposes. In 2014, Russia annexed Crimea, and this was for the first time. ये एक पहली बार हुआ था इतिहास में कि World War II के बाद कोई यूरोपियन कंट्री को किसी ने annex किया. So Russia annexed Crimea, and it was first time in a European country annexed territory from the country since the World War II. And after the Crimea annexation, Russia and Ukraine signed ceasefire agreements at Minsk. Apart from that, Russia also started a separatist movement in Donbas region of Ukraine. Donbas एक region है यूक्रेन में जहां पर रशिया ने separatist movement को और इन्फ्लुएंस किया और उनको बढ़ावा दिया, और सेपरेटिस्ट मूवमेंट का जो आंदोलन है वो शुरू हुआ कहाँ पे? डोनबास रीजन में, जो यूक्रेन में है, विच इज होम टू एथनिकली रशियन पीपल. मेनली वहाँ पे रशियन एथनिक ग्रुप के पीपल रहते हैं कहाँ पे? डोनबास में. सो नाउ व्हाट हैपेंड इन यूएनएससी रिसेंटली. सो इंडिया एक न्यूट्रल रोल प्ले किया है यूएनएससी में. इंडिया ने नेदर हैव सपोर्टेड टू यूएसए और नॉट टू Russia. So this move of India is widely read as a play to balance its ties with Moscow and Washington. So it is a major security crisis which is happening with Russia and Ukraine, and in the Eurasian region, having the potential to escalate into a much broader conflict. अगर इस पे अगर focus नहीं किया गया, if UNO is not interfering into this, then it has a great potential to convert this region into a disturbed area and it will have a bad impact on those countries. Even the Asian and some countries from the Europe will face this. The worst consequences of this may arise. So it's very important to cut it down. The conflict might lead to further deterioration of Russia's relation with Europe and USA. Yes, of course. The conflict also has far-reaching consequences on larger dynamic of Asian geopolitics. Next issue what we have seen is the China-Pakistan CPEC agreement. What is CPEC? That you need to understand first of all. CPEC is the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a corridor which passes through Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. So India is having a major concern regarding this because as it is passing through the Indian territory which has been occupied by Pakistan. तो जब ये जम्मू कश्मीर से पास हो रही है ये कॉरिडोर, तो ऑब्वियसली इंडिया का इसमें बहुत मेजर रोल होगा. बट इसमें why this is in news I will discuss later. Just I will tell you first that China इसमें अभी ये है क्या. So this is a project. ये बेसिकली एक प्रोजेक्ट है which focus on rapidly upgrading Pakistan's required infrastructure and strengthening its economy by constructing modern transportation network, especially economic zones and numerous energy projects. तो इस प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर पाकिस्तान को बहुत सारे फायदे मिलने वाले हैं, जैसे कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का ग्रोथ हो रहा है और मॉडर्न ट्रांसपोर्टेशन नेटवर्क्स का ग्रोथ हो रहा है. सो दैट विल एनीवे इनडायरेक्टली इज गोइंग टू हेल्प Pakistan by connecting its resources towards the other European countries and other portion of the world. So here you can see here the CPEC special economic zones and numerous energy projects. So these projects will help Pakistan and China as well. So it is a 3,000 kilometer long route of infrastructure projects to connect China's northwest Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region to Gwadar Port. See, there would not have been much effect on India if this is not passing through Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. But only thing is that China is interfering this the dispute of India and Pakistan which is there in Jammu and Kashmir, but China is supporting Pakistan by constructing that road by taking support of Pakistan. So Gwadar Port in western province of Balochistan in Pakistan. So that is the major concern of India. CPEC is a collection of infrastructure projects which are under construction throughout Pakistan. It started in 2013. This project was originally valued at $47 billion and its next phase was of $62 billion as of 2020. So why this was in news recently? Because on Feb 4, 2022, Pakistan signed a new agreement with China to start second phase that was of $60 billion with China-Pakistan for China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, that is CPEC. On the occasion, Prime Minister of Pakistan Imran Khan raised the controversial project, stating that it has a strategic significance for Pakistan and China. So why do we say it is a controversial project? Already I told you, because India is protesting against CPEC because it is led through Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Okay? And also deliver tangible benefits to the people, what has been told by the PM of Pakistan. Next, we can see in the news the oil deal of Uganda. Uganda is a country in Eastern Africa. It is an Eastern African country which shares the border with Victoria Lake, but it is called as landlocked country क्योंकि ये कोई ओशियन से अपना बॉर्डर शेयर नहीं करता है. ठीक है. तो the National Offshore Oil Corporation of China and the Total Energies of France are to pump out the crude oil in Lake Albert of Uganda. So ये दो कंपनी चाइना और फ्रांस की जो कंपनीज है, they have signed an agreement with Uganda to pump out the petroleum from the Uganda. From where? From the Lake Albert. Lake Albert is here the important thing. Therefrom, the oil has to be pumped out. So the companies are investing $10 billion in the mega project, and the oil reserves are located along the Uganda. So Uganda-Congo border. Uganda is landlocked country. Already I have told you. The Chinese and French oil giants have signed an agreement to build a huge oil pipeline in Uganda. The companies are to exploit the oil resources of the country. This has fumed the environmentalists. Of course, it is a major concern of environment as well. Whenever there is a pumping out or the pumping out of the oils and all. Yeah. So before we move further, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to tell you from today, that is the 8th of Feb onwards, new course for NDA and CDS have started. This course is the crash course for 60 days at the cost of 2,200. But if you call on these two numbers, you will get direct 30% discount, and then you can register yourself on our application, download it from Google Play Store. NDA and CDS course for 60 days. This is the crash course which will target 10th April examination. So it's very beneficial for the students. Very few seats left. If you contact these two numbers and download our application, you will come to know regarding this. Apart from this, we have also online and offline SSB course, which is generally conducted by General Bhakuni sir, along with various officers who have been in the selection center previously. Let's come to the national affairs. We have recently seen there was a tussle between West Bengal CM and the governor. It was in news for last many months. But what was the immediate reason to come it in limelight? That was that on Jan 25, 2022, Governor of West Bengal Jagdeep Dhankar visited the assembly premises for paying tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. जब ये राज्यपाल जो हैं वेस्ट बंगाल के, जब वो B.R. अम्बेडकर जी को ट्रिब्यूट्स पे करने के लिए वो जब 25 जनवरी को वहाँ जाते हैं assembly premises में, तो during his visit he launched an attack against विधानसभा स्पीकर. Bhima Bandyopadhyay. Since then, a continuous conflict has been going on between both. Matters came to limelight when the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee announced about blocking governor on Twitter because of his derogatory remark against the government on micro-blogging site. तो जब ये लाइमलाइट में आने का सबसे बड़ा रीजन ये हुआ कि जब वेस्ट बंगाल के मुख्यमंत्री श्रीमती ममता बनर्जी ने इन्हें अनाउंस किया कि ट्विटर पे इनको ब्लॉक किया जाए, whom the governor of West Bengal. So you must be knowing कि Mamata Banerjee is the strongest opposition of BJP in West Bengal. Anyway, she miserably lost the previous assembly election, but she is currently the chief minister of that state. So what political thinkers thinks about this कि ये जो इनका ऐसा मतभेद है just because कि ममता बनर्जी इज कंप्लीटली अपोजिंग बीजेपी को अपोज करती है, और गवर्नर का जो अपॉइंटमेंट होता है स्टेट्स में ये प्रेसिडेंट के थ्रू होता है, बट प्रेसिडेंट इज आल्सो बीइंग एडवाइज्ड बाय द पार्लियामेंट, एंड यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड दैट द बीजेपी हैज अ स्ट्रांग स्टैंड इन द पार्लियामेंट. सो दैट इज द बिलीफ ऑफ सम पॉलिटिशियंस. नेक्स्ट वी कैन सी द वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड. ये एक बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव था इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का, जो कोविड-19 के टाइम में बेसिकली फॉर डेली वेज वर्कर को बहुत ज्यादा मदद मिला इससे, सो दैट दे वर एबल टू गेट द राशन वेरी एट इजी स्टेप्स. बाय फॉलोइंग द इजी स्टेप्स दे वर एबल टू गेट दिस राशन. सो वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड का मतलब ये है कि अंडर द स्कीम द आधार इज लिंक्ड टू द राशन कार्ड, एंड ऑल्सो ई पॉइंट ऑफ सेल मशीन्स आर इंस्टॉल्ड इन पब्लिक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन शॉप. So under this, the One Nation One Ration Card scheme has become operational in 35 states and union territories together. It is now covering 96.8% of the population, including in the National Food Security Act. Earlier, the person had to apply for new ration card if they are shifting places. So that was again you can say very difficult to apply. Then after 2-3 months will be there, you are getting busy under this busy schedule, you have to take out your time to go visit the offices and all. So the One Nation One Ration Card has removed the geographical hindrance. Wherever you are, you will be benefited with the ration card if you are getting earlier. This was introduced during the COVID-19 times mainly to support the migrant workers from one place to other. Now again, a statue of equality of 260 feet tall has been installed. So ये 5 फरवरी को प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी का विजिट हुआ था हैदराबाद में टू किक स्टार्ट द 50th एनिवर्सरी सेलिब्रेशन ऑफ इंटरनेशनल कोर्प्स रिसर्च इंस्टीट्यूट फॉर द सेमी एरिड ट्रॉपिक्स. सो इसमें उन्होंने डेडिकेट किया 260 फीट टॉल स्टैच्यू ऑफ इक्वालिटी टू द नेशन ऑन दिस occasion. A statue of equality commemorates the 11th century Bhakti saint Sri Ramanujacharya. The saint promoted the idea of equality across all the aspects of living, including caste, creed, and faith. Next, we see the Shillong Technology Park. So, Meghalaya government has taken a very good initiative to install a technology park in Shillong to avoid workers or daily wage workers or job seekers from Meghalaya or Shillong to moving out from the country, to attract those persons who are going out from the particular state, not country, sorry, particular state Meghalaya to the other state. So this is a very good initiative by the Meghalaya government. The Meghalaya Chief Minister Sri Conrad Sangma recently inaugurated the Shillong Technology Park. इसका main objective मैंने आपको बताया, to bring back the Meghalayan who left the state in search of job opportunities. The first phase of construction is to be funded by the Meghalayan state government, and the park will then adopt public-private partnership method for subsequent phases. तो ये एक बहुत ही अच्छा solution है जो जिससे कि जो जॉब सीकर हैं जो हमारे स्टेट से बाहर जा रहे हैं उनको वापस बुलाने का. द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ तमिलनाडु हैज पास्ड एंटी-नीट बिल. द तमिलनाडु एंटी-नीट बिल व्हिच इज नेशनल एलिजिबिलिटी कम एंट्रेंस टेस्ट हैज पास्ड बाय द स्टेट असेंबली इन सितंबर 2021. द बिल सीक्स टू डिस्कार्ड द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ नीट फॉर मेडिकल कोर्सेज इन द स्टेट. The central government had made the national eligibility cum entrance test mandatory for all the students in the country. The bill was passed opposing this requirement. So as we all know कि मेडिकल कोर्सेज में जाने के लिए पहले नीट का एग्जाम देना होता है, देन ओनली यू विल गेट अ गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज टू हैव टू कंप्लीट योर डिग्री फॉर एमबीबीएस. सो तमिलनाडु गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया, उस नीट को कंपलसरी नहीं बताया. उन्होंने एक बिल पास किया था 2021 में टू डिसरिगार्ड द रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ नीट टू मेडिकल कोर्सेज इन द स्टेट. सो इन पार्टिकुलर स्टेट में नीट की जरूरत नहीं है इफ यू वांट द गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेज इन द स्टेट. Next comes Conqueror's M anti-tank guided missile. So on Feb 3, 2022, Bharat Dynamic Limited, that is BDL, and Indian Army signed a contract worth Rs 3,131.82 crore to manufacture and supply Conqueror's M anti-tank guided missile. Conqueror's M is a second generation mechanized infantry anti-tank guided missile. It is being manufactured to destroy armored vehicles. ये armored vehicles को destroy करने के लिए manufacture किया जा रहा है, equipped with explosive reactive armor. It has range of 75 to 4,000 meters. BDL is manufacturer of ammunition and missile system in India, and it was established in 1970 in Hyderabad, Telangana. Next, we see induction of women fighter pilots in IAF. So, on Feb 1, 2022, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh announced government's decision to convert experimental scheme for inducting women as a fighter pilots into a permanent one. So, Rajnath Singh from the government side has announced that there should be induction of women to strengthen women upliftment. These steps are being conducted. So, women empowerment, you can say that Defense Minister Rajnath Singh announced government decision to convert experimental scheme for inducting women fighter pilots into women as a fighter pilots into a permanent one. So, 16 women have been commissioned as fighter pilots so far since the implementation of experimental scheme in 2016. So, when this experimental scheme was announced in 2016, under this there have been 16 women who have been inducted as a fighter pilots in Indian Air Force. Next is the project Sadbhavana. Sadbhavana means goodwill. The operation Sadbhavana was launched by the Indian Army in Jammu and Kashmir. The main aim of the project was to help people affected by terrorism in the region. So the operation mainly targets address the aspiration of the people to counter the terrorism in the region. This Operation Goodwill was Operation Goodwill was initiated by Indian Army. Next, we'll talk about the supercomputer Param Praveg. So, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, has commissioned one of the most powerful supercomputer, which is called Param Praveg in India. Param Praveg is a supercomputer. If in static section of AFCAT, you can get such questions. Okay, so you should know this Param Praveg is the supercomputer which has been commissioned by Bangalore IISc. So, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Param Praveg supercomputer has a supercomputing capacity of 3.3 petaflops. It is the largest subcomputer in Indian academic institution. Largest subcomputer which has been placed in any academic institution in India. The supercomputer has been designed and developed by Center for Development of Advanced Computing, that is CDEC. CDEC is the one which conducts your AFCAT examination. CDEC. So the supercomputer has been designed and developed by Center for Development of Advanced Computing, that is CDEC. Now, next comes the World Interfaith Harmony Week. World Interfaith Harmony Week is observed during the first week of February, that is February 1 to 7 annually. Was designed in 2010 by the General Assembly. The World Interfaith Harmony Week was started to promote cultural peace and non-violence. It is based on pioneering work of Commonwealth Initiative. So when this World Interfaith Harmony Week is celebrated, that is the first week of February from 1st to 7th. Then comes we'll talk about the Queen Elizabeth. The 70 year of reign of Queen Elizabeth. So her reign, when she was here I'll discuss that the other two world. First of all, the Queen Elizabeth, who has been there in England to celebrate 70 years of throne on February 6, 2020. She is 95 years old. When she was of 25, then only she had borrowed the Queen. She ascended the throne in England. The other two world longest known reigns are Louis XIV of France and King Bhumibol of Thailand. Louis was called the Sun King. He ruled France in 17th century. He ruled for 72 years. Between 1643 to 1715, Louis ascended to the throne at the age of 4. And Bhumibol ruled Thailand in the name of Rama Rama 9, he ruled between 1946 to 2016, and he died at the age of 88. So these were, apart from this Queen Elizabeth, these two are the other. So total of 3 longest ruling reign in the world, in some of the portion of the world, or in the country, their own country. So Queen Elizabeth ruled for 70 years. But when we say they ruled for, it means that they have just nominal power. They do not have the real executive power on that under the the rule of democracy in England. So actually, as we have president in that form only, they have queen in their country. Next, we'll see here the next that 3J's World Games Athlete of the Year. Veteran Indian hockey goalkeeper P.R. Regis recently has won World Games Athlete of the Year 2021. He became only the second Indian to receive this award. He is the first man and second hockey player to win it. He followed the footsteps of compatriot and Indian women's captain Rani. Captain Rani had won the award in 2019. Before I come to conclude this session, एक इंडिया जिसमें इंडिया ने 2 दिनों के लिए शोक मनाया है, and it was national was under mourning on the name of Lata Mangeshkar, whom we have lost on 6th Feb 2022. At the age of 92, Lata Mangeshkar has left us. Before we conclude, I would like to remind you that our next course for crash course for CDS and NDA is starting from today, that is 8th of Feb, and it is 60-day crash course targeting 10th April batch, and it is at the cost of only 2,200. But you can avail 30% discount on that when you contact these 2 numbers and discuss and download our application from Play Store. So apart from this, we also have some online classes for SSB and offline for SSB as well into the campus. Thank you so much. With this, I come to the end of this session.
Download the SSB SureShot app from Google Play Store to access courses for written exams like NDA, CDS and AFCAT. You can also find courses for SSB Personality Development and Spoken English. Apply the coupon code SIGNUP15 to get 15% off on your first purchase. Call us on 725-930-7111 for any queries.